And so today's episode of Mental Health Monday is all about cultivating inner strength, building resilience in challenging times, and exploring practical strategies for navigating adversity and finding strength in the midst of life's storms. I'm your host, Dr. Jackie, and again, today, the title of today's episode is Strength Within Navigating Adversity with Resilience. So, welcome. And this is where we gather to explore practical strategies for navigating life's challenges and cultivating inner resilience. Again, I'm your host, Dr. Jackie, and I'm here to guide you through the journey of building strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Before we get things off, let's start with a prayer. A moment of reflection. It's always good, right? And so we're just going to lift ourselves up and ask the divine source, higher power, dear God, to grant us the courage to face adversity with grace, the wisdom to find strength in times of struggle, and the resilience to overcome any obstacle that comes our way. Today's scripture is coming from Romans 5:3 through 4. And it reads, Not only so, but we also glory in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. An explanation of this scripture is it reminds us that our trials and tribulations can ultimately lead to growth and resilience by embracing challenges as opportunities for personal development. We can then emerge stronger and more resilient than ever before. And another scripture that resonates with the title of today's theme comes from Isaiah 41 and 10 and reads, Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with all my righteous right hand. An explanation of the scripture is that in times of difficulty, this scripture offers us comfort and reassurance that we are not alone. God is always with us, providing strength and support to navigate life's storms with courage and resilience. And again, as a reminder, it doesn't matter what your background is. What I have found in my walk, in my spiritual walk, in my walk to um, be divine, is that there are scriptures or holy words in just about every religion or spiritual practice that I can relate to. And so I share on the shows that I record, the Mental Health Mondays show or the Midweek Boost show, which I'm in the middle of the week, you guys. Hey, I'm feeling good now. Time there is no such time, right? Such thing as time with me now. I'm feeling like it's Wednesday, but on all three of the shows that I do, whether it's the Mental Health Monday, the Midweek Boost, or the Sunday Boost show, I make it a point to put out there that spirituality is universal, as religion should be, but I am a person that prides herself in being a spiritual individual. And not just because I'm an ordained minister. I took the path of spirituality many, many years before I actually became an ordained minister. But I have studied religions from all over the world, and within the different religions and spiritual practices, I have been able to find a word or tool that could help me further my understanding and my relationship when it comes to the Most High or God's divine holy will. And so I hope that while you're listening to today's show or one of the past episodes or future episodes, if I read a scripture from a certain denomination, whether it's Christian, whether it's Buddhism, Hinduism, or whatnot, that you will, for one, be accepting and be willing to see if you can find something that's going to help you further yourself along in your walk. Practical strategies for navigating adversity. Things that we can do when it comes to dealing with challenging times in our lives, or navigating adversity and being resilient during those times, are very important. We all need tools and techniques that's going to help us remain at a certain state of calmness so we'll be able to deal with the challenges that we're facing. And so, some practical tips are: number one, we have to always be compassionate toward ourselves. So, practicing self compassion, being kind and gentle with yourself during challenging times, is priority, or should be priority. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a friend or someone else in need. And definitely seek support. Sometimes we sit, I know I find myself sitting with challenges sometimes, just trying to figure it out. It's not that I don't want to reach out and ask for support. um Oftentimes I'll think that, let me see what I can figure out myself before I reach out to. And in the past it's gotten to the point to where I almost got a headache. The tea kettle was whistling, like, girl, you need some help. So reach out. Definitely seek support during those times. Reach out to trusted friends, family members, or a mental health professional if needed for support and guidance. Sharing your struggles with others can lighten the burden and provide valuable perspective. Focus on what you can control. Instead of dwelling on things beyond your control, focus your energy on the aspects of the situation that you can influence. Channel your efforts into taking proactive steps towards positive change. Try cultivating a spirit of gratitude and optimism during those times of adversity. Cultivate a positive mindset. And the way you can, I know some people may be thinking, how in the heck is she expecting for somebody to cultivate a mindset of optimism and during this time? Because when adversity and challenges come upon us, they get pretty challenging to where we get stressed, right? And so if you can try to cultivate a positive mindset by focusing on hopeful thoughts and affirmations. Remind yourself of past challenges you have overcome and the resilience you've demonstrated in the face of adversity, and that usually helps. Try practicing mindfulness. Everybody know by now I push mindfulness. We can do a 1 minute mindfulness practice all the way up until hours of mindfulness. Incorporating mindfulness practices such as deep breathing, meditation, or yoga into your daily routine helps to calm your mind and reduce stress. Mindfulness can help you to stay grounded and present even in the midst of life's storms. Some affirmations for today. Repeat after me. I am strong. I am resilient, and I am capable of overcoming any challenge that comes my way. Another is, I trust in my inner strength and the support of those around me. Today's journal prompts. These journal prompts are good for reflecting on certain situations, and they also help us to reinforce certain positive aspects of our lives. Today's journal prompts, or there are three. I will read them all and take some time to reflect on the following journal prompts. You may or may not want to do all three, but I challenge you to choose at least one and then reflect on it and then write in your journal what your reflection is. And so the first one is, what are three things I am grateful for today? And number two, how can I show kindness to myself and others this week? And number three, what boundaries do I need to set to protect my mental health? Today's call to action this week: commit to practicing self care daily, whether it's taking a bubble bath, going for a walk in nature, or simply enjoying a cup of tea. Prioritize activities that nourish your mind, your body, and your spirit. I want to give a sponsor a shout out, a big thank you to our sponsor, PIMS Balanced Counseling and Coaching, for supporting mental health awareness and wellness in our community. Visit PIMS Balance at www.pimsbalances.com to learn more about their resources and services. Here's a teaser for next week's show. Join us next week for Cultivating Inner Strength, Building Resilience in Challenging Times. This is where we'll be exploring practical strategies for navigating adversity and finding strength in the midst of life's storms. And remember, you guys, you're not alone in this journey when it comes to strengthening your mental health. What we can do together is prioritize our mental health and create a life filled with peace, purpose, and joy just by sharing information and being a support to one another. And so I want to welcome you again to our Mental Health Monday podcast, where we aim to provide you with inspiration, knowledge, and tools to improve your mental health and well being. Now we're going to segue into part two of today's show. And in this episode, we'll be discussing various topics, including motivational stories, mental health information for adults and children, positive activities to strengthen mental health, herbs for mental health, and counseling and coaching. And if you are looking for inspiration and guidance on your mental health journey, and this is your first time tuning in, look no further than our motivational mental health podcast. Join us every Monday or every other Monday. It depends on how my schedule is, because if I get a call from a client that's an emergency, or I end up having to go over in a session, I may not record that day. But I try my best, you guys, to record every show on the day that it's supposed to be aired. Mental Health Monday on Mondays. The time, it may vary. Again, it depends on whether or not I get caught up or pulled away for work. Wednesdays is the midweek boost. I usually record the midweek boost earlier on Wednesdays before 11 or between 11 and 12 p.m., but that could be up in the air too. I'm gonna have to get stricter on my times of recording these shows, you guys. And then Sundays, the Sunday boost, I record that usually around 11:30 a.m. on Sundays. What my aim to do is to provide tools and techniques to help individuals improve their lives physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. And today it's all about tools to help improve your mental well being. And so I share stories, I share insights from experts in the field, things such as mindfulness and meditation to coping strategies and positive thinking techniques. This podcast is designed to provide you with support you need to live a happier, healthier life. So tune in each week if you can, and let's help each other find the motivation and inspiration to thrive in our mental health journey. So, to start things off, let's talk about the power of motivational stories. Stories can help us feel connected and inspired, and they can give us hope when we feel down. One story that comes to my mind is the story of the tortoise and the hare. In this story, the tortoise, who is slow but steady, wins a race against the hare, who is fast but overconfident. We know, all of us probably know some people that are some hares and some tortoises too. This story teaches us that even if we feel like we're not making progress, we can still achieve our goals through consistency and perseverance. Now, let's move on to some mental health information for adults and children. Mental health is just as important as physical health, right? And it's essential to take care of both. Some things you can do to improve your mental health include exercising regularly, getting enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and talking to a healthcare practitioner, a therapist, psychologist, counselor if you are struggling with anxiety and depression or any other mental health condition. And I'd like to give a shout out to health and wellness coaches, because some health and wellness coaches, such as myself, are certified trauma informed health and wellness coaches. And we also can work with anxiety and depression for short term, 6 months and under. Speaking of positive activities, there are many things you can do to strengthen your mental health. For example, you could try practicing mindfulness meditation, going for a walk in nature, or engaging in creative activities like painting or writing. Even something as simple as spending time with loved ones can boost your mood and help you strengthen your mental health so that you can be in a more positive frame of mind. I would love to hear what some of you guys do to help you during those stressful times when you need that resilience. Things are just getting really challenging and overwhelming. What are some of the things that you do to help you remain in a state of calm to where you're able to process the information that is being given and that comes up in your head, and then being able to articulate yourself properly when you're under stress and you're dealing with these challenging situations. So definitely give me a shout out, because your voice matters. I really would love to hear from you. There are many positive things that we can do. If you are not a person who likes to walk out in nature, or you don't engage in activities like painting or writing, there are so many other things that you can do. You could just sit and observe, or you can write. Find that thing that you like to do and utilize it as a way to practice mindfulness meditation. Another topic I want to touch on is herbs for mental health. There are many herbs that have been used for centuries to promote relaxation and reduce stress, such as lavender, chamomile, and valerian root. It's important to talk to your doctor or a trained herbalist before trying any new herbs, as many may interact with medications, we call it contraindication, or have side effects. Now, I'd like to say this in defense of herbs. Um, when a person is pregnant or nursing a baby, it's not good to take the herbs, but there are some contraindications. You have to make sure that the medication you're on is okay to continue to take that medication while you're taking the herbs, because oftentimes the herbs can do what medications can't. And so, in defense of herbs, definitely talk to your healthcare provider. Do your research before you delve off. And that's with anything, it's not only with herbs. If you are getting ready to start a new exercise regime, Talk it over with your doctor because as we age, depending upon what age group you're in, I'll say that you may or may not need to exercise as much as you do, or some of the exercise that you're used to doing, you may not be able to do those anymore. And so it's just important to talk to your doctor or a trained herbalist if you're going to take those herbs. But like I said, with any new change in routine, whether it's eating, exercising, or whatever, run it by your healthcare provider. Now, let's talk about tools and techniques for mental health. One technique that can be helpful for managing anxiety is called square breathing. This involves taking a deep breath for 4 seconds, holding it for 4 seconds, and exhaling for 4 seconds, and holding for 4 seconds before starting again. Again, square breathing is when you take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds, you exhale, let it out for 4 seconds, and you hold again for 4 seconds before starting again. Another tool you might find helpful is a mood tracker, which can help you identify patterns in your moods and behaviors over time. And if you're looking for a mood tracker, they sell them. You definitely can get some on Amazon. I've created some for the clients that I work with. You can definitely reach out to me, hit me up on the website, www.pimsbalances.com. Write me a email at pimsbalance@yahoo.com, or else just leave a comment below or wherever you can after I upload this recording, whichever platform I upload it on, YouTube, um, Rumble, Spotify, and then just leave me a note and let me know that you'd like to get a copy, and I will send you a copy of a mood tracker because they definitely help us identify patterns in our moods and behavior over time, which will give us a target, something to target for change, and hopefully you can create a focused outcome that you want. And lastly, we have to emphasize the importance of counseling and coaching. If you are struggling with a mental health condition, it's important to speak to a professional in regards to getting help. A therapist or a counselor or a coach can provide you with the support and guidance you need to manage your symptoms and improve your overall well being. And remember, if you choose to go with the coach, say you're feeling a little stressed, you just lost your job or got laid off, and you need to just have that support until you find another job and hopefully a short term, reach out to a health or wellness coach. A wellness coach focuses on, it's a broad area. They can work with individuals and a lot of different things, in order to create food plans and things like that, they usually have to be licensed nutritionists or dietitians. But definitely, depending upon the wellness coach or health and wellness coach that you work with, they may have uh, training or certification in depression and anxiety. If not, make sure that you reach out to a counselor or a psychologist because they can provide you with support and guidance in your times of need, and they can also help you manage your symptoms and improve your overall well being. And so, moving right along, I want to share a, a story with you. Now, I mentioned my favorite story earlier, the tortoise and the hare. And so, this story here is going to teach us to never give up. And it reads, once upon a time, there was a group of frogs who decided to participate in a race to reach the top of a tall tower. Many people gathered around to watch the race and cheer for the frogs. As the race began, people started shouting, "Oh, it's impossible! It's too difficult!" But one of the frogs kept climbing and climbing. until he reached the top. The crowd was amazed and asked him, "How did you do that? How did you manage?" It turned out that the winner was deaf and had not heard the negative comments from the crowd. This story teaches us that we should never give up on our goals, no matter how difficult they may seem. Today's positive quote: Your mental health is a priority. Your happiness is essential. Your self care is a necessity. Author unknown. For those of you guys who love healthy foods and healthy eating, do I have a treat for you? Next up is a healthy recipe, and yes, I have tried it and it is delicious. Now, here's a recipe for a healthy and delicious smoothie that can help boost your mood and your energy. The ingredients are one banana, 1 cup of frozen blueberries, 1/2 cup of Greek yogurt, a 1/2 cup of almond milk, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. All my favorite ingredients. I'm telling you, you guys, once you make this smoothie, you're going to be hooked. So get you a big container so that you can mix this smoothie up. And not only is it healthy and delicious and nutritious, but it can help boost your mood and energy. So once you have all the ingredients, 1 banana, 1 cup frozen blueberries, 1/2 cup Greek yogurt, 1/2 cup almond milk, 1 tablespoon of delicious honey, and 1/4 a 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. And all you do is add all the ingredients to a blender and blend until it's smooth, delicious. I say smooth, delicious. I'm telling you guys, this is a treat that you are definitely going to appreciate and enjoy. And so I want to touch bases a little bit, you guys, and give some examples of health and wellness coaching. Health and wellness coaching can be a valuable tool for improving mental health. For example, a coach might work with someone who is struggling with anxiety to develop coping strategies, set goals for self care, and create a plan for managing stress. And by working with a coach, individuals can gain the support and guidance they need to take control of their mental health. During this segment, we'll be discussing two important topics: elder mental health advancements and some spring events to mark mental health. First, let's talk about elder mental health advancement. Mental health among the elderly is a growing concern as they often face unique challenges such as loneliness, isolation, and physical health problems. However, recent advancements in mental health care have provided new ways to address these issues. One example of this is the use of teletherapy, which allows elderly individuals to receive mental health care through video conferencing or phone calls. This can be especially helpful for those who are unable to leave their homes or live in rural areas with limited access to mental health care. Additionally, there has been a growing focus on the integration of mental health care into primary care settings. This means that elderly individuals can receive mental health care alongside their other medical care, making it more accessible and reducing the stigma often associated with seeking mental health treatment. Now, let's take a break for a short moment, but when I return, let's shift gears and talk about spring events to mark mental health. We know spring is a time of renewal and growth, and it can be a great opportunity to focus on our mental health. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, thanks for holding. I know that was a pretty short break. I actually had to get a drink of water. And so, one way to do wonderful things to help you with your mental health during spring, which is a time of renewal and growth. And spring is also that great time that we can get outside and we're just doing some of everything. But it's definitely about renewal and growth. I mean, we see it in nature, right? And when it comes to our mental health and our well being, well, from me, from my perspective, it's always a time to for me. I look at spring not only as a time of renewal and growth, but for a time for me to do this great deep philosophical self-reflection and to figure out which direction I want to go in, because I'm shedding off all the fall, all the winter, and I am now ready to step into this wonderful season of renewal and growth. And so, one of the things that I like to do is to get outside and participate in outdoor activities. And you can do things such as gardening or hiking, spending time in nature. It has always been shown to have a positive impact on our mental health. And it also allows us to reduce stress and improve our mood. And so I encourage you to start getting outside and enjoying nature. If it's doing an outdoor activity, yay, or gardening, yay, hiking. Just start spending time outside in nature. Another way to mark mental health during the spring season is by participating in mental health awareness events such as walks or runs for mental health awareness, because these events, they can help raise awareness about mental health issues and reduce the stigma often associated with mental illness. And so, whether it's through outdoor activities or mental health awareness events, there are many ways to mark mental health during the spring season. And so, you guys, I want to share poetry and prayer, and then we're going to start wrapping up. Here's a poem by Rumi, a 13th century Persian poet and scholar, that speaks to the importance of self care and self love. And it reads: Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And here's a prayer that can help you feel centered and calm. Dear God, please grant me the strength to take care of my mental health, the wisdom to know when to ask for help, and the courage to face each day with hope and optimism. Ashe and Amen. And so I discussed a plethora of information today. Um, I shared some herbs for mental health, a few tools and techniques for mental health. I shared a wonderful moral story about, well, I shared a tidbit, a synopsis, right, about the tortoise and the hare. And then I shared the story about the frog that didn't give up, but he couldn't give up because he did not hear the negative naysayers, because he was deaf. Deaf. Um, I want to say this though. I did discuss elder mental health care. So before I wrap up, let me elaborate a little bit more and discuss mental health information for adults and children. Mental health, we know, is just as important as our physical health, because it's essential to take care of both. That's what gives us this balance type of life within ourselves. And some things that we can do is exercise and regularly ensuring that you get enough sleep, eating a healthy diet, and talking to someone if you need it. And this is just as important for children as it is for adults and the elderly. And so don't forget that, pay attention to the kiddos, you know. Sometimes they start feeling sad and feeling down and they'll get off on their own, or their behavior usually changes. And if you notice that, try to do things to get them to talking, to try to find out what is going on. Because if they need mental health, the earlier that they can get that help, the better that it's going to be for everybody. And we don't want to see those little babies, those beautiful babies. We do not want to see them in that situation where they're stressed out, sad, depressed, whatever is going on in their life, and they're not getting the proper help in time. So before we end today's episode, let's take a moment to talk about a current news and technology topic related to mental health and coaching. Recently, there has been a growing interest in mental health coaching as a way to help individuals improve their mental well being. Mental health coaches provide guidance and support to help individuals set and achieve their mental health goals. Advancements in technology have made mental health counseling and coaching more accessible than ever before. Many counseling and coaching services are now available online or through mobile apps, making it easier for people to get the support they need when and where they need it. One example of this is the app BetterHelp, which provides online counseling and coaching services to people across the world. And I am also an example as a mental health, as a spiritual counselor, as a mental health coach, as a health and wellness coach. I provide services online to people, well, not across the world, but within the United States. So I'm a living, breathing witness of the significance of being able to provide online counseling and coaching services. With BetterHelp, individuals can connect with licensed mental health professionals through video chat, phone calls, or messaging. And if you are interested in obtaining information or any type of referrals, reach out to me. I have a source list of mental health professionals and social service agencies, definitely in Missouri and Illinois, but there are 800 numbers that um, I can share with you if you are in need of some help and just don't know where to go to get it. So definitely hit me up and I will get you a resource list. And so if you're interested in mental health coaching, I encourage you to do your research and find a service that works best for you. And remember, taking care of your mental health is important, and seeking support can be a powerful step towards healing and growth. That's all for today, you guys. Thank you again for joining me on Motivational Mental Health Mondays podcast. I started out a little rocky, thinking it was Wednesday, right? Yes, I did. That is too funny. Alexa, stop. That is too funny. I just, hold on, you guys. Alexa, Alexa, pause. Alexa, stop. Right back at you, you guys. Alexa was blaring and bleeping, letting me know it's time for me to start wrapping up. And so remember, taking care of your mental health is a journey, and it's okay to ask for help along the way. I hope this episode, as rocky as it was today, has provided you with some useful tips and inspiration. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope to see you next time. This is Dr. Jackie signing off. See you next week. Peace and light.